Hello traders, welcome back to another video. This is Mr. C from Seiman Trading, and today I'm gonna go over our new indicator Z zones that consists of support and resistance, supply and demand, liquidity zone, trend lines, and key levels. Alright, once the indicator is loaded on the chart, the support and resistance zones are enabled as default. And as we can see, we get the blue support zones and red resistance zones. And I'm sure that most traders already know what the support and resistance is. Basically, a support zone is plotted in areas where the price finds support, and resistance zones are plotted in areas where the price finds resistance. So if you take this support zone as an example, we can see that price finds support in this area and this support zone is plotted. And what we're basically looking for is when the price comes back to this level and see what happens. In this case, we can see that the price touches the level and bounces off immediately. And this is a great way how the support and the support zones works. Another example of the resistance zones, we can see that a resistance zone were created in this area, and once the price came back up to this zone and retested this area, we can see how accurate the price just bounces off immediately and fell. So this is another example of how the resistance zones work. So all the zones you see on the chart are valid zones that have not been broken yet. If a zone is broken, the zone will be removed from the chart and is considered invalid. Okay, let's go over the settings. We can see that we have something that is called check previous bars. This settings is most important when you use the support and resistance. It's basically a sensitivity setting which you can change between 1 to 5. When you have it set to 5, you get fewer zones, and if you set it to 1, you get more zones. However, we recommend that the majority of the traders leave it as default. Okay, let's move on to the supply and demand zone, and I want to keep this simple in terms of the definition of what the demand and supply is. A demand zone is created in areas where we have a higher buying interest, which eventually drives the price up. And a supply zone is created in areas where we have higher selling interest, which eventually drives the price down. And we can use supply and demand in many different ways. I think supply and demand is the most powerful ways to identify key levels in the market, since the price often respect those levels. And as we can see, we have a supply zone in this area, and once the price comes back up to this area, we got a reaction immediately and the price fell down. So you can use a supply zone to find a potential short setup. And if we take this demand zone as an example, we can see that the demand zone were created, and once the price comes back down to this demand zone, we can expect the price to react and bounce off the level. So as we can see, the price came back down once and twice before taking off. So use these levels to confirm potential reactions and reversals. Okay traders, let's go over the liquidity zones we have included in this amazing trading tool. And to keep it simple, a liquidity zone is formed where we have higher trading activity and where liquidity flows into the market. And those zones are often created where institutions and big players enter and exit the market. So it's important to keep an eye on those levels. As we can see, we got a liquidity zone right there, and the price came back to the level multiple times and retested it. And this is one common strategy we can use to play retest of a liquidity zone. And to remember, a liquidity zone is a zone where we can expect higher trading activity. So once the price comes back to any of the zones, we can expect higher volatility and higher trading activity. Okay guys, let's have a quick overview of our trendline feature. And I'm sure that most traders already know that the trendline can first be plotted once we have two dots or points to connect, and this algorithm works in the same way. It identifies 2 points and connects those points and then predicts the trend. And in this case, we got a long-term trend line, and then we got a short-term trend line. So use the trend lines to find the next trend. All right, let's go over the last feature in the indicator, and it's our key levels. And the key level is a level where price tends to come back to and react at with high probability. So it's really important to keep an eye what happens around those levels. So let's see. As we can see, the price comes all the way back to the key level and it immediately bounces off. And this is what we want to see around the key level, that the key level is respected. And once again, the price comes back to the key level and then makes a huge breakout to the upside. In this case, the price comes back to the key level, tests it, makes a push up to the upside and comes back to the level and have a hard time before moving up again. So in this example, we can see how price actually respect the key levels, and it works for shorts as well. We can see that the price comes all the way back up to the key level, have a hard time before dropping. Really clean entry we could have up here. And this is another trade. We can see how the key level is respected before a drop. So key levels in combination with our indicators can be a great trading strategy. And I'm going to do a video on how you can utilize the key levels with some of our indicators to find great trading setups. So let's go over how you can set alerts for the levels. We recommend you that you do it manually in the following way. If you go to the price scale, you can see that a little plus sign appears on the chart. And if you go to the level you want to have an alert on, you just go to the level and click on the plus sign and select add alerts for the asset, the first one, and boom, you get this orange arrow, which means that now you will be alerted if the price crosses this level. And you can double click on this alert and you get the condition. You can alert actions, notify an app, show in pop-up, and you can select a message. We just set resistance level 1 hour, and then we can create the alert. So now we can see that we have an alert for the level, and this is how we recommend you to set alerts for any of the levels in the indicator. I hope you have enjoyed this video, and I hope you're gonna like this indicator as much as we do and find great success with it. And we're gonna cover some strategies with the levels and the zones in upcoming videos, so stay tuned, subscribe to the channel, like and comment on the video. Have a great day. See you next time. Bye.